The photo behind me, that's when I was in the Himalayas last year.
Last year.
I'm in Vietnam now. Right now. Yeah. Where are you? Where are you, Thầy Huyền?
Now I am in the Bodh Gaya, in the Vietnam temple. The same master, he's here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yes. Mindat sent me some photos. You look like you're having a good time. The group.
Yeah.
Looks wonderful. Yes. Yeah. That's good. I'm in Vietnam, but that photo is the sunrise of over the Himalayas. Just amazing.
Yeah. Before I came to the Hanoi, I visited Hà Long Bay, some Yên Tử Mountain, Sapa. Yeah, there are many beautiful. Yeah, the same the Himalaya.
Yeah. I haven't been to Sapa yet up there. But,
yeah, you should do. You should go. I think that's very beautiful. You should go. Yeah. I was born in Vietnam, but I hear before my mother taught me about that many times. You know, I don't have the chance to visit there because my mother visited in the Vietnam in this year. I have the good chance. I follow him. Finally, I could go to the Samba in Inter. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I've seen many photos of Sapa, and it's beautiful. What I've seen is beautiful.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
When I went to the Himalayas here, my eyes took a long time to adjust because it is so big.
Yeah.
So big and beautiful. It looked like a painting. It didn't look real to my eyes. It looked fake. But it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Just the landscape and the feeling. Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah. I think you know, in the world, there are many beautiful places. You know, I don't know why, because some of the people, fight together. They, because I think that if you enjoy the nature, because we feel very good for us. Yeah.
Yes. It's it's a different feeling to what I've experienced before. It's just amazing.
Yes.
And, very easy to meditate, easy to just,
How many times ago you visit in the Himalayas, son?
We went last March.
Yeah.
February in Lumbini. Last Tet holiday we went to Lumbini and Himalayas. That's we were in Nepal for about 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes. That was.
Yeah. Now you are in the Australia?
No, I'm in Vietnam now.
In Vietnam. Wow.
I'm in Vietnam in Barria.
Barria. Barria. Vietnam in Barria. Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. I think if you have the time, I think you should visit Samba. Good, very good. Yeah.
Yes. It's one of the many things we want to do.
Yeah.
so many things we want to do.
Yeah, from Barria to my temple near, not so far, because I have the temple in the Lagi the district. Yeah,
there's master.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning, Master.
I'm late, but late better than never.
Yeah.
Good morning from Bodh Gaya. I'm sorry because I go to puja. Then I come a little late. Sorry. Today's weather also very cold here. John, he's in Himalaya, but it's not cold. Wonderful. Whenever we see Himalaya, we think of you.
Oh, good. Good, very neat.
We would like to invite you come to the New Year or Christmas.
Oh.
The Christmas, we organize a celebration Christmas in Lumini where Buddha was born. Because you see, I find between the Christian, just Christ, and the Buddha so many similar things. So I respect all of them. So like every year, the occasion of the Christmas, we will celebrate. So if you know some Christian people and the Christian father, sister, and you send to me the email or the wiper, then I will send invitation to them. Okay? And if about you and your wife come, and then after that, we will celebrate the big New Year, 2023 in Himalaya. We're also waiting for you. And now I prepare another very special for you. Before 1.1, but now less than 1 square meter. If you sit there. Đâu không tập ngồi đó, ngồi nói chuyện đó là xong đó. Today the topic we talked about the forgiveness, tolerance.
Yes.
What is the topic today, John?
It says happiness in a complicit society, if I understand.
I see. This is a very important. We are living in a society when environment very complicated. So many people disappointed. But in my opinion, this situation is not only for this century, but previous century there similar happened. But not many documents remind. Because when I read about Tripitaka, I find during the time of the Buddha, the society also very complicated. Therefore, the great master was born. In China, the similar thing. Before the Confucius and the Lao Tzu period on society, very conflict. They are fighting. And then great philosopher was born. So I think now situation similar thing. I wish the Maitreya Buddha, future Buddha, he will come soon. He will give the solution. I believe that is the law of universe. So maybe we are the person to prepare the plan and a good environment. This also very sad news about my idea. Because think about more than 20 years, I would very much like to buy the empty land in Bodh Gaya and to plant the Nagasana tree. This tree relating with the enlightenment of the future Buddha. But very sorry, we meet so many difficulty. The middle person, they only thinking money. So yes, few days I decide to give up with this person. Give up means it's not we stop our wishes. We carry on. But all of you, please pray. You see, this is, I think, most difficulty area on the planet. Therefore, Buddha, he got enlightenment here. And I told you many times, it seems to be this is more difficulty. Therefore, after get enlightenment, the Buddha, he come to visit here only one time. Then he ran away. He never come back second time. And we have very bad karma, so we stay here a long time. I'm very disappointed. There's one man, I give him money, I offer gift, I help him, but he only talk. It's very much disappointed. Very sorry. But anyway, let us hope. Like 40 years ago, nobody believe Bodh Gaya developed now, like now, or Lumini. So let's hope. So today we talk about happiness and the communist society. So we should not complain. We should apply the Mật Pháp, our master, and the Lord Buddha. So I also interested in news and information from the world. But when I open the radio or something, I feel very sad. There's many negative news. So people very much disappointed. But in my opinion, so let us limit it to get the bad news. Because our headline at the house, we should keep good thing, should not bad thing. Bad smell, we should throw away and should keep the good thing inside. So how can we live? So every day, everybody, we have only 24 hours. So at least we should reserve 1 hour for our life. We can have private life. This is very important. You see now, I observe the richest person majority, they are not happy. And the most powerful person is not happy. Because before sleeping, they must go around their garden and they check whether they have good security or not. But we are not rich. So when tired, we lie down and we sleep. Isn't it? So I think we should take our good party every day. We have 24 hours. So let us utilize at least 30 or 50% for our life. And then where the society, where the situation complicated, we should not close to them. Like you see, many times I repeat the Mangala Sutta. One of the best things the Buddha suggested, Asavana Balinam. Asavana means to keep away from bad people. If we are not associated bad people, certainly we are lucky. If we are associate person, we do not know what happened. Anytime. Yeah. So anytime we have problem. So if we Manittanam Savena means associated with the good people. If we associate with people, suddenly we get good thing. We don't have food, they give food to eat. We don't have lodgement, they give lodgement. And if you have, we don't have money, they can lend money to us. We need anything. You see, this is the one of the best thing. And another way, also Buddha, I think one of the best way, gratefulness. Gratefulness. When I was young, I very lucky to meet my guru, my master. He taught me so many Mật Pháp, philosophy of living. He taught one of philosophy I learned at least 3 times. He say, whenever you drink a cup of water and a bone of rice, should never forget it. Mean we should gratefulness. For this philosophy, I very respect it. So I get so much benefit in my life. When I left Vietnam, only 1,002 served, but I observed one this of philosophy. I'm very happy. Nearly 60 years in the war, more than 65 countries. I never have problem with the law and police and anybody, because we are gratefulness. For example, when I come to Nepal 40 years ago, 50 years ago, I saw where Buddha was born, ruined. Then I make a wish. What a wish? Before I die, I very much like to see Lumini, just a wish. But after nearly 30 years, I was the first foreigner to invite by the King Biranta and his prime minister to give the land. When I got the land, people thought I was crazy. They blame me. But with the time now, If you come to see, there are more than 30 countries. There's internet, water, road, and then a few months back, there's an international airport. So there's a gratefulness. So today the topic is very interesting. Even we are living in a society very complicated. The people, many wrong people, but we should not pay attention. We should think the good thing. For example, more than during the COVID, one of my 10 points, I propose my student to plant a tree. Many students, they say, oh, master, I respect you. I want to plant a tree, but I have no land. How can I plant? I say, never mind. You buy the seed and then you check your friend, then you can offer, and if your friend, they have land, and you plant it. If you plant 1,800 trees, then you will see the benefit. That really now, many of them, they wrote to me and ring to me, and they say, oh, wonderful master. I never believe such thing happened. I plant only 1,600 or 800 trees. Now I get so much benefit. Why? Because when they get the fruit, they bring to offer them. And then they, that is the law of the nature. More you so very, but we have, and so when make pie also, and then after that some people give me the tea and some sweet. So, 50 for material, 50 for spiritual. And very happy. Tell you, we need money, but money cannot back, not, but not home. Money we can buy many books, but not the knowledge. The money we can buy the title, but not the money. The money we can buy medicine, but not the health. So if we know how to utilize money right way, and then we remember one thing: when we die, we cannot carry money with us. Cannot carry money. So that's up to seriously. I think someone not well manipulated. Therefore, the sound. You should set up your message. Aminda. It seems to be someone. Please, someone participant, switch up your. Wow. Đúng rồi ha. Rồi ha. So the topic today is also remind us the time is very limited. Every day we have only 24 hours. So we should utilize minimum about few hours for our life. This is not selfish. But if you are healthy, your mind is positive, we can do many things. If you are very rich, but your mind is just not positive, so many trouble. It's okay. So now I would like to invite John to share your idea about this topic. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Master. Yes, very. I agree. I agree 100%. It's, I always talk about the change that I've had in my life when I learned gratefulness. And before that, living in this society that we have is very complicated and very busy. How can we if we can learn gratefulness, we can learn to change our thinking. If we can learn to change our thinking, we can change our environment. We can change everything around us. When I learned, I used to be very much a feeling. I still am a feeling person. I have very strong feelings, and in the West, when you have these strong feelings, you have to act on your feelings, and which isn't true. I learned 30 years ago that there's feelings that we have. Just because we have a feeling doesn't mean we have to act on them. And to me, that was new. That was a new learning for me, because I thought if we have these really strong feelings, we have to do that. If I'm angry at you, I have to tell you, and I'm angry and express them. When we learn gratefulness, because gratefulness is a feeling, if we can learn the gratefulness, to hold gratefulness feeling in our heart, we can learn to control our feelings. We can learn to control our mind. And exactly that, what Master was saying, I was thinking exactly the same thing this week. I've been busy, and not having time for myself. So I have took 1 hour, light a candle, sit in front of the candle, and controlled my breathing, controlled my thinking, controlled my everything. And all of a sudden, my world is peaceful, because I can control, now I can control my feelings. If we have, if we want to make it really simple, we can put people in 2 categories. And people are very difficult to categorize, but the idea is we have people who have feelings that must be expressed, acting on their feelings all the time. And then we have people who are observing. Oh, I have a feeling. So observing and watching and perceiving what's going on within themselves and perceiving what's going on in the world. If we can perceive our feelings, then we can understand where our thinking is coming from. We can understand where our philosophy is coming from. We can understand where our ideas are coming from. And when we do that, the feelings, the compulsive feeling, the strong desire to express our feelings goes away. We still have our feelings, we still recognize our feelings, but we're not a slave to our feelings anymore. We become the master of our feelings. We become the master of our understanding. Yeah. So being able to, for me, learning gratefulness was the first step. Because in my world at that time, I couldn't think of anything I was grateful for. I didn't believe it. But I kept doing it every day. I am grateful for. And then some things happened in my life. I couldn't even, at the time, I couldn't pick up a glass of water and say, I'm grateful for this glass of water at that time. And it took me a long time to change. It took me many years to learn and understand that. I became confused. I became upset. But I also became relieved. I became, when this lady told me, my old teacher, 30 years ago, is just because you have a feeling doesn't mean you have to act on it. And immediately it was relief. Ah, that's good. That's good. But it also brought up that understanding that all I did was act on feelings. And most of us do. We always act on feeling. Why do we do things? Why do we learn guitar? Why do we? Because it's feelings. And these feelings we become the master of. And for me, learning gratefulness in my heart changed my world. And giving exactly the same as what Master said. If we, service to others, if we can give and we can help, then our world becomes a different place. And when we are grateful, the people that we should not be around, they slowly disappear. We can move away and better people come into our life, people that can help us on our journey come into our life. People who, when we have troubles, exactly, when we are hungry, they can give us food. And that becomes a new feeling. It becomes a new experience. We're very, very lucky. I believe that strongly. I've lived that. It took me a long time. Please don't take as long like me. If you can control your emotion, control your feeling, and observe where it's coming from, then your actions become more based on your gratefulness. And when your actions are more based on your gratefulness, the world, the complicated society we live in, becomes a little bit easier. And sitting down when we need it most is usually when we don't have time to do it. When we don't have time to feel calm and collected because we're busy, the world is happening, we're tired, we're sick, everything. That's the time we need to do it more. Just, if you cannot do 1 hour, do half an hour. If you cannot do half an hour, do 5 minutes. And then tomorrow, do 6 minutes. The next day, do 7 minutes. That your center will become so much more calm, and your world becomes easier to live in, and the complicated society becomes less complicated. And we become more authentic. So if you're more authentic, you're more operating from your center, from your heart self, then the world recognizes you more. And life becomes a bit simpler. And thank you, Master. I think he's talking to the others. Anyone else want to talk? I feel like I've talked a lot today. Taiwei-san, you want to talk?
Hey, John, I have a question for you, John. I'm very curious. As you consider to be Caucasians, and you live in Vietnam, and you get the chance to meet the great master. So how is that going about for you to come to to this? I just wonder, because everything's come with a story, So the great master changed my life with his teaching and his McFab, and so it changed my life a lot. So I just wonder how you go about to get to this point of your life, to hanging out with us here on this Zoom call. So please share a story.
Yeah, okay. I'm married to a Vietnamese lady, right? And she was studying with Master, and maybe 2 years ago, I've always been wanting to learn, and various philosophies of religions. I like to study them. I like to learn them. It's something that piques my interest, and I get excited by it, and I look for it, and I like to talk to different people about it. And that becomes, so when my wife was studying with Master, she said, "Why don't you join in?" And I kept saying, no, it's okay. "Why don't you join in?" No, it's okay. Oh, Master said, "Why don't we go and visit Lumbini?" And last year, everything shut down. A Tet holiday. We thought, we'll go for 2 weeks. And I'd met Master on Zoom before that. And we talked a few times. Then we went to Lumbini, and it was like meeting up with an old brother. You know, we talk and have a cup of tea, and our thinking and our philosophies and our journey has been very different, but with very similar lessons. And how I got to Vietnam, I remember visiting Vietnam 15, 16, 17 years ago and falling in love with Vietnam, and then coming back, 3 or 4 years ago now. And I don't know why, but I feel very, very, very comfortable in Vietnam. I still can't speak Vietnamese very well. Nobody can understand me when I try to speak Vietnamese. So a journey, and just having discussions with Master and talking with different things, we have a lot of ideas that are very similar. So, and he's had a huge impact in my family, with us, and how it's. He's put all the thoughts and ideas that I'd had that I learned through books, he's put it into practice. And so we put that into practice too. I hope that's a little piece of my story. I hope it helps.
Yeah, and what about the what about the Buddha? Like the Buddhism's, like how has that changed you though? I'm curious, like how has that changed you? Because everything the Buddha touched my life, and through the master, through the teaching of the master, and so I wonder how has that changed you? You didn't grow up Buddhist,
No.
No. Yeah, so that's why I want to know too, because it's like that's very interesting, for how you go about to change your religion, your beliefs, because that's just so big, because people are very pride and ego about what they're believing in and those kind of things. So for you to change it, so there's something very big happen in your life. So I want to know that. You could you could share that too. Yep.
That's a good question. I was brought up Catholic. My parents and family were very strong Catholic, and I was what was called an altar boy. I don't know if you know, but they have helpers in the church, and I always believed in something. I was a child. Very, very lucky. The priests. I know priests have a bad reputation, but I was very lucky with the priests. They were always very kind and very helpful. But I remember knowing. I always remember thinking deeply about something. There's something good about this, and there's something bad about this. What's right? What's wrong? I always ask questions. And I always knew there was something more. And so when I got older, I went, away from the church, away from Catholic Church. But I always studied various different religions and studied them and got ideas. And I even started going to a Buddhist temple in Australia. But I didn't get any answers. It was very quiet. I didn't get any, I still didn't know. I'd read about Buddha and Buddha's journey, but I still didn't have an understanding. But I was very, 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 very curious. And when I'm curious, I keep searching for more information. And the more information that I learned, and I also started studying Christianity as well. More than just going to church. I started reading, I read the Bible. I got in different ways, and I studied the Old Testament. I studied Sufism for a very short period of time. I studied lots of different things. And then I realized the more I studied Buddhism, the more I was confused, because there's the Buddha and there are many Buddhas. And that was to me going, oh, what's going on? And, do we talk about God? Is there not? But we talk about God here and there's no God there and God within. And how can we how can we make this logical? And so I got more curious. And the more curious I got, the more I started to look at the philosophies of the different religions. And if you go back far enough, the philosophy of religions are very similar. The philosophy, and as we know, that Buddha was a long time before Jesus. Jesus's messages are very similar to Buddha's, but it's been lost. It's been lost in the interpretation. So it's yeah. So I find that the way of life of Buddhism hasn't been, how do I put this? I'm trying to put it politely. It hasn't been controlled. Catholicism, Christianity is more about being in control of others. Whereas Buddhism, it's up to you. It's up to you what you do, and we love you anyway. Whatever you do, I love you anyway, and that to me gives me the freedom to be in control of my own life and being able to pray, meditate, talk to. I've been very lucky that way. I have that in my life of being able to feel things. And so that's curiosity has driven me. Curiosity is that there's more. I want to know more. I want to experience more. And yes, and having the chance to go to Lumbini at the start of this year was amazing, and to experience. I was very lucky to the feeling walking around the Asoka Pillar where Buddha was born was amazing. Watching the sunrise over the Himalayas, it's different to any other experience I've ever felt. It's very, very interesting. But I have more questions than I have answers, that's for sure.
And I think that's great. That's what it makes is great about Buddhism. I feel the same way. And that's why I continue to practice and do that every day in my life. And so that those curiosity, those questions could be answered in the future. And that's what I do. That's what I do right now. And I that's the thing is I appreciate life so much that I'm so appreciate that I learned it in a young age. I didn't have to wait until I'm about to die or my health deteriorate or my my father passed away, my mom passed away, or whatever it is that caused a very tragic in my life so that I can find the Buddha. I'm so happy that the Buddha come to me in a very good way, that I want to learn more. I'm curious. I'm very curious. But then those things drive me, and those things make me more more serious about what I do in life and learn about Buddhism, And so and I just want to say welcome home, John. I'll just tell you, and that's what I want to do too. I want to do the same thing, like yourself. I would like to have that chance to go to Lumpini and going to Bodh Gaya, just to see what it looks like, and even just experience at the Himalayas, it's just amazing. It's just I find it changed my life so much, and so I that's why I appreciate it. I really am appreciate you, too, also that come up, and share your life, because everybody here on this call, there's something in their life that brought them here today. Brought them to Buddhism and being serious about learning the Buddha teachings, because not everybody doing that. Everybody like to have fun, to do this and that, and for us to being here on this call, something happened in our life that changed the way we think about life and changed the way about how we practice Buddhism. And so that's why I'm curious, because I'm sure everybody here has stories. So, but I and so I would love to learn about everybody here. Like what has changed? This person. Even with Thầy Huyền, what had changed you, Thầy Huyền, that you take refuge in the Buddha, in the the mantra, and in the monks, and so I want to like how's that changed you? What brought you there? What brought you here? And the great master told stories about his life, about what brought him here today. And so it's an amazing story, and I would like to write the same story when I'm older, So my story is right now, like, it's starting right now. I'm putting together a little piece by piece, but it haven't become a book yet, So that's why I will learn, because I want to write a book just like the great masters over there wrote amazing great, and he has so much successful. This is like such an American dream, because I'm here in America. I know you're from Australia, but it's just a dream come true for the great masters to achieve this kind of achievements in life. It's amazing, and he's not just a human. I mean, I'll keep telling him he's probably from the from the heaven sent down here to change people's life. He touched so many people's lives, and so and that's what great about the great masters, that he touched so many lives. He changed my life in a way too also. And so but yeah, like, I thank you for your story and your sharings. And so I'll turn the microphone to somebody else if they would like to take over.
Yeah, because you're right. I think I thank my master who taught me the message of love, because I think that I changed my life. The gift give me before I followed my master 1999. Before the that I'm angry, not the same now. I always leave the feeling of the love, because he always taught me that if they get me, had seek to harm me because of the selfishness, I should bring the message of love to them, and prayer without seeking to oppose them. If I can change my hatred toward them, my best is to stay away from them and find a way to help them, because my mother, before I remember clearly, before I stayed in the Lumbini Vietnam temple, inside there are many people. They don't like me. They want Thầy Huyền out the temple, because they think if the Thầy Huyền stay near the master, because in future I still be the temple, because the master give the temple to me. Very big problem. The first I can understand about that. I feel very, very sad. Yeah. Finally, yeah. Sometimes my master taught me. Anytime I didn't listen to the master, because I think that sometimes master left in the temple. He came anywhere, because he looked. He earned the money to build the temple. Yeah. Some people, they come to the temple, they never rate master. They think, my master is not good. My master, follow some people. Finally, I left my master. Finally, I came to the United States. I have some big problem in United. How could I do? Finally, I remember my mother teaching. I wrote it. My mother teach me, if some people don't like me, if some people don't like you, if some people they to seek to harm you, you should bring the message of love with them, and then you write. Maybe sometimes you write down the name, you write the Buddha. I think I have the good reason. Today I change my life. I look any people I feel that some people very super about their life, because I find the good way to help them. Yeah, thank you very much. Today the Mr. John and the Mr. Huyen, you talk together about the message of the lover, because I hope any people when they hear the this topic, they can change their life. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Huyen.
Thank you for sharing, Thay Huyền Diệu.
Yeah, thank you. Because I have the one question for the Mr. Huyen. I see the Huyen in Atlanta, Georgia, because because you talk with me before I remember. You wrote this, Fatwa, Kinh Fatwa, and you write down the 4 books of how do you feel about that when you complete writing the Linhua Sutra? If some people they don't like you, how can you do? You feel very sad, you find you seek the good way, you help them, because I would like to hear about your answer. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your questions, Thay Huyền. So I wrote 4 book, the Lotus Mantra, John's. I practice because the great master was talking about the amazing things happening to a lot of people when they're practicing the Lotus Mantra, and it's actually changed my life a lot, because inside the book, the Buddha teaching amazing things. So so I learn a lot of things, because I take whatever it is I could apply into life, right? There's other things that it's over my head, because I'm not there. So but I took things that apply into life, into our normal life, and so I practice it that, and so and it's amazing, because it's just like studying in college. I have an MBA, so when I read a book, I remember I read like a math book, or like an English book, or whatever, like when you study for exam, so that's what you do. You read book until you familiar with the subject, and then you go take the test in colleges. That's how you do it to get the pass, because that's how you study. And so I use that as my studying. That so if I want to learn about this book, the Lotus Mantra, which is amazing book, so that's what I do. I want to continue to practicing it. I want to write over and over until I learn about everything inside that book, and maybe when it comes to light down the road, in my life, that I can learn more. But I just take whatever it is that apply to my life, and there's a lot of things in there that could apply into our life, and I apply to that and use that as the things that teach me to do my business, to work on dealing with my family, dealing with my job, dealing with whatever it is that come at my way. And so just to answer your question, Thầy Huyền, that let's say somebody don't like me, or somebody that have a conflict with me, before I practice the book, I would get very angry. I would, because being young, and so I would be very defensive, because I let my ego take over. So I would think that I would know more than that person. I would let my ego take over everything to deal with that situations. But now what I do is I use my humbleness, to do that, because it don't mean anything. I mean, my ego, I mean, I'm not that smart, because there's other people smarter than me, and don't mean that, you know, I'm not trying to win that little battle, you know, I'm trying to win the war, which is become the better person. And so that's what I do is basically I will be humble. I would look at myself first. I what I do, I will look at myself. So if somebody get at me, I wouldn't try to change their perceptions about how they look at me. I would try to change myself, because I can't change anybody looking at me, because if they want to see me as that person, then it's going to be a long battle for me to change the way they're looking at me, the perceptions, you know. And so what I do, I look at myself, and I would try to you know, to change myself in the way that how they perceive me and how they want to receive me, basically. And that's how I do it. And just be patient and humble, you know. It's been a long way. Thầy Huyen, John, and I saw Brad come on here too. Also, it's come a long way. So that after my finishing 4 book, oh my God, so many amazing things happening. And of course, the master showed up. The great master showed up after my 4 book. Oh my God, from up nowhere. I'm from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Like who has been in Lawrenceville, Georgia? I mean, like, who has been in Georgia? Like, they can't even pronounce Georgia from Vietnam, you know? Like, you know, it's just like like the South, you know, the Bible Belt. Like, nobody want to be here, you know? But the great master showed up after the 4th book. I was so shocked, because every book I finished, there's always something happening to my life. And so there's my idol showing up to confirm it. You know, I was just like, wow, you know, it's just like, you know, just like I remember when I was young, you know, see like a band that I would love to, like a great singer, like, you know, like, you know, Black Sabbath, like, you know, if Ozzy Osbourne, you know, showing up, I'll be like, oh my God, Ozzy, you know, like, you know, oh, see, Led Zeppelin showing up or something like that. I'll be, oh my God, Led Zeppelin, you know. But then there's great master showing up after my 4th book. Yeah. Oh my God, it's just so amazing. I can't explain it. It's just, and every book I finish, right, is something big happening in my life. And I cannot explain that to anybody, because that is your experience. That is your, you know, your practice to see that. Because I cannot tell you, you won't see the same thing I'm telling you to see, you know. And so it's just like going to the gym. Like, you know, if I go hit the weight, I get all the muscle, not you. So you won't see the same thing I seeing, like, you know, building the muscle. So that's I you know, I can't tell you everything that I see in my life. And I starting my 5th book now. I finished 2nd chapter now in finishing up the second chapters on my 5th book. And I also do the you know, the praying, you know, daily, and you know, those. So it's just amazing, amazing. So it's changed my life so much, and I can't, you know, I'm so appreciative. I'm thankful for everything in my life, and I thank you for you know, for everything, basically, and the people around me, and so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Mr. John, because I think that some people, young people in the United, because they, if they hear from you, because I think that they change their life. I think because today I see the Brad and the meeting you, because I would like to hear from the Mr. Rab and the new about this topic. I think that this topic today is wonderful. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for asking. I'm truly honored to be here. So thanks, guys, John and Quan. You know, my wife and I do Aikido. So I have an old textbook of mine here, you know, the essence of Aikido. It says that conflict is natural. Conflict happens in nature all the time on every level. But with human beings, the essence of all evil, the root of all evil, is the fear of looking stupid. Bullies really hate looking stupid. Bullies are cowards. You can see that in somebody like Donald Trump, you know, who has lost 2 national elections. He really is afraid of looking bad. He's so afraid of looking bad that as a bully, he wants to rip up our country, take apart the Constitution of the United States. He's very angry with the people who make him look bad. He's very greedy for situations that make him look better or situations that make him feel better. We would feel very guilty if we were in his place and done the things that he's done. In fact, we are depressed, at what we see going on in our nation right now. We're really confused. So this cycle of fear, anger, greed, guilt, despair, and confusion, that's ego. And one way that we can deal with that violence inside ourselves, that thing which is strangling our life energy, is to look directly at that suffering. Breathe into that suffering. Open into that. Sit with that. And you can even do it when those bullies come to you physically. You can face up to those bullies. You can face a way that's smiling, willingly greeting them as if they're old friends that you're seeing at an airport or a train station. Yeah, baby, what's up? Hey, how's it going? And then after you greet them, you can sit down with them. Aikido is the essence of good etiquette. You can physically open up to and sit down with. Accept them. You can harmonize with their attacking energy that's coming into you. You can agree with what they're saying or what they're doing. You can lead them on in the direction they're going and begin to subtly redirect them so that their bully energy is not so profound, not so destructive. You can fog them, create a sense of confusion around who they are, around what their intention is. You can deceive them openly. You can just simply buy time so that the situation begins to diffuse itself. If you can, simply do nothing. This is something that Gandhi would do. Get thousands of people around at an intersection or on a street and sit down and breathe and do nothing. If you can be openly negative to them, you can say, look, your judgment about me just simply doesn't matter. I don't care what you think about me. I have the right to make my own mistakes. I don't need any reasons for what I do. I'm just a wave on an ocean of life. I'm just a wave in a river of life. I don't need any reasons for what I'm doing. I surrender. I let go. I do nothing. I have no intention. Therefore, I've got the right to change my own mind. I can change my mind anytime I want. I don't care about what you want. I don't know what you want. I don't understand where you're coming from. I have no opinion. I remain absolutely unattached. I can withdraw from this situation anytime I want. I can retreat, fight back physically, as in judo or aikido or tai chi. Fight back physically only when it's a question of life and death, or only when you have no other option open. Okay? Thank you for your time.
Brad, thank you so much. That's wow. That's really good. I love how you make it so detailed and you break down in pieces of how you're dealing with with the conflict and wow. Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You know, I think that, you know, there are many people, especially the young people. I think that today the topic very good. If we, you know, I have one question. What do you think we have to do to make them easily away and change their life? Because you all of you give the, you know, the one answer, the simple answer, because it's, if they hear the subject today, they can change their life. Because I think that many people, they living in the time of the struggle and the hardship, very dangerous. You know, now the Russia and the Ukraine, because they're fighting the daily, there many people die. You know, I hope, especially the young people, they aware and they know the danger, because they must love together. Because I would like to hear the Mr. Wung and Mr. John and Mr. Rob and any people today. Yeah, thank you very much.
Brad, you can take over, sir. Like, I mean, I guess it's you know, Thầy Huyền was asking how we go about to change their life and the way they're thinking, but I feel like it's sometimes it's kind of difficult because ego. Like you talk about Donald Trump, you know, I mean, it's gonna be so hard to change Donald Trump. I mean, you have to vote him down. You know what I mean? And I guess it's like the only person gonna change him is God. You know, I feel like that's the more. I mean, have to be powerful people to really, or not even people, but have to be powerful. Some type of amazing things happening into his life to humble him up a little bit. But I don't know, Brad. What do you think?
I am a little pessimistic along those lines, although the ground of being is awareness. So many people are so deeply locked in ego. They are so deeply afraid of looking bad that they can't face the fact that they're afraid of looking bad. They're so afraid of looking bad that they don't know that they are. They live they live a little farther around that circle where they're just angry with people who make them look bad, or they desire to feel better. They desire to look better, but they can't be brought to a place where they confront their own fear of looking bad. They stay manipulative. They remain liars. They're always putting on an act or putting on a show. They're trying to manipulate us and hold us down. Life is not long enough for them to become awake. Like I say, the ground of being is awareness. The ground of being is love, is authentic power. That's grace, awareness, love, and power, but they're not going to get there. We have to help children who are feeling miserable, frightened, depressed. They're feeling guilty, confused. We can help children, come to that place where Christ said, this new commandment I bring to you, this new commandment that you are to love each other as I have loved you. Love each other with that divine love. Well, that's a simple one-act thing we can do that really raises our game. But we got to get to children with that. Right now, in the middle of the United States, the people who helped Donald Trump make it to power, well, those are people who call themselves Christian. But that's also the most hateful place in the United States.
Just piggyback from what you say, Brad. Also, you look at Putin with the Ukraine war over there right now, right? So,
yeah.
So what is the end game for him? Like he would keep making mistakes. He doesn't look at his ego where Like, I'm sure he knew, and everybody around him knew that they made a mistake going to Ukraine and try to stir up the war. I mean, again, because like he knew that, because now, I mean, he probably didn't know that before, because with the 100,000 army soldiers, thinking like he would just take over Ukraine just like that. But now with the mistake that he made, and now he's sitting in the back now looking at what the costs are now with his people, and with everything around the world that coming at him. He's not coming out and say that he made a mistake. He doesn't stop the war. He did. So what's the end game for that? I wonder what your thought is about the end game for Putin and the war in Ukraine, Brad. Do you have any thought about that?
I see human beings on a continuum from caring and reasonable, loving and logical, to deeply ego afflicted, greedy, angry, like that. And I see politics in pretty much the same way. Democracies are nations which can be heading in an enlightened direction, being caring and reasonable, trying to increase welfare so that it reaches a greater number of starving, suffering people. And yet, on the other hand, totalitarian regimes are deeply ego-driven, nightmarish places. And too often, we just need to remove that totalitarian regime as if it's a cancer in the human body. We can't really help those totalitarian, those dictators. We can't help them become caring and reasonable. We just have to put them out of our misery.
Thank you very much for your contribution. You see now, we should not much. Some people, they say happiness and gratefulness. I think whenever you have the time to do something to grateful people, we do it. And happy, whenever you have the time to be happy, be happy. So now generally we are very much confused. We put the egg before the hands, or the hand words before the egg. Yeah. So that's whenever we anywhere we do gratefulness and happiness. This is very wonderful. So I'm telling you, when I meet my master Thầy Huyền Diệu, he taught me very simple philosophy at least 3 times. I apply it very strictly. Whenever you drink a cup of water, bon upright, gratefulness. So my life, I get so many wonderful miracle things. Yeah. So this is a very simple philosophy that is wonderful result. So now I would like to invite, there's a one, I think the youngest participant. Now you talk direct to your place. You tell you are from Singapore. Huh? They are young. Now I think after forum we should invite all the people. Okay, please join it.
Good morning, everybody. Ashley from Singapore. Yeah. Right now I'm at Vietnam và Quốc Tự in India. Yeah.
No, you can talk. Explain how you a person you participate. Yeah.
When I come to India and Nepal, especially at Vietnam temple, it feels very peaceful and everything just it changed like my perspective of life. Like, I feel like I'm very lucky as compared to many people. And it makes me feel grateful for what I have.
So thank you. You should invite all participants in the future. If they have good opportunity, they should come to Singapore. One of the smallest country is very beautiful. Then you will cook good food for them. Singaporean food. Okay?
Yeah, I will try. This is the first time I joined Zoom, so I'm still very nervous and I don't know what to say much.
Okay, next time you prepare. Thank you. Thank you very much, participant. Next week, let's hope to meet again if there's no earthquake. Okay, namaste. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Yeah. Amida Phật. Rồi. Xin thưa quý vị, bây giờ buổi sáng này đó, thầy nghĩ rằng mình không còn nhiều thời giờ nhưng mình cũng relax dưới đi.
Master forget the clothes.